Mass Effect. Or even better, Mass Effect 4, the next Mass Effect. Fans have nicknamed this game Mass Effect 4 regardless of the fact that BioWare hasn't confirmed this name. In fact, they've denied it. They don't want this game to be called Mass Effect 4. They've said, please don't call this game Mass Effect 4, we'll give you pine cones. It is not a continuation of the trilogy, it is just the next Mass Effect game. With that in mind, fans still stick to the nickname, like an annoying ex-girlfriend that your best friend just won't seem to get over. But maybe there's good reason for that, and not the ex-girlfriend thing. They could be referring to it as Mass Effect 4 simply out of ease. I mean, after all, it is the fourth major installment into the Mass Effect franchise. And that's not including the mobile games, because as I just said, major installment. Sorry, Jacob. Jacob? Want an Oreo cracker, Jacob? Or maybe there's another reason, one that involves psychology and feeding fish. Maybe people are subconsciously still attached to that original trilogy, to that original story, that legend, those characters, and of course Commander Shepard, who is quite possibly the most epic game protagonist of all time. Mass Effect is legendary. I mean, even just take that introduction music I chose to play for the first couple minutes of this video. For die-hard Mass Effect fans, it brought back some nostalgia of that great adventure, spanning from the sparkling skylights of Ilium all the way to the frozen wasteland of Novaria and back to feeding your fish at home. Feeding your fish. Please, forget about your fish for just a moment. The adventure isn't completely over. Another Mass Effect is on the horizon. That's confirmed by BioWare and is really happening. And I'm here to cover today all the information we know so far about this Mass Effect and what we can expect in the near future. And why am I qualified to bring you this information? Well, I'm like a walking Mass Effect codex, an encyclopedia of lore, for one thing. Go ahead and ask me any question about the franchise, it's kinda creepy. And I've played every game multiple times to gain multiple perspectives and understanding of the story and the lore. I've read all the books, even Deception, and online for at least an hour or two a day, I lurk the interwebs, forums, social media sites, BioWare official Twitters, looking for new information or leads that can tell me a little bit about the new Mass Effect game. Oh, and I avoid the stupid rumor sites like K-drama stars who should be lit on fire and thrown in front of a bus and then have the bus thrown into space. If you were being a good little panda bear, you would remember the checklist I put up at the beginning of this video going over the topics I was going to cover in this video. Well, the next topic is the new protagonist, the new main character we'll be playing in the next Mass Effect game. But the thing is, who is this new main character, and what could this new main character possibly do that could ever top Commander Shepard's legend? I mean, Commander Shepard was the major factor behind almost every major event that took place in our galaxy during his lifetime. He brokered peace between the Quarians and the Geth, a war that was going on since the Quarians and the Geth. He killed the Thorian, a creature nobody even knew existed, and a creature that has existed before anybody even started thinking. Possibly. He also destroyed the Collector base. He crippled Cerberus, a major military, science, espionage, pretty much a major nation during that time. Even though they weren't a nation, they were pretty much a nation. They were a panda bear. And he also found several Prothean relics, some of which he doesn't tell about to anybody, even his closest friends and crew members. But of course, this all depends on the choices you decided for your Commander Shepard to make during the game. He could have just been a dick that punched reporters in the face and didn't feed his fish. Feed his fish! Feed his fish! I want an egg roll. Either way, nothing is truly known at this time about who the next protagonist is. It could be anybody. We could be Conrad Werner, or Fry from Futurama, or even Bender. Fans speculate on forums and subreddits that the next protagonist will most likely be a human. Even though most people want racial choices, they want to be a Hanar or something, you're probably going to be a human. Because after all, Mass Effect has been heavily centralized about humanity and its place in the universe and how it's influenced and affected by other alien races. Either way, I do have some theories based off actual evidence provided by BioWare. At the San Diego Comic-Con event earlier this year, Yeah, I know what you're thinking already. Mass Effect has new information given first at a Comic-Con of all places? I'll cover that shortly. But back to the main topic. Anyways, back to Comic-Con. At Comic-Con, BioWare released some actual in-game pictures from Mass Effect's development process. Among these pictures were two specific ones that stood out to me. It was a model for both the male and female protagonist of the game. Above this picture, it said the specific words, "Your hero." Obviously, this was referring to the fact that this was the model for the protagonist of the game, our hero, but the words hero specifically mean we are meant to save something, somebody. So we're gonna be doing a heroic act of some kind. No rags to riches space pirate or space trader saga then. And while BioWare did specifically say this was all subject to change before the game's release, the character was wearing N7 armor. Alliance military armor, more specifically Alliance Special Forces armor, more specifically the highest echelon of the Alliance Special Forces. Not many recruits are known to get all the way up to the N7 range. Maybe we are the first N7. No, we're not Captain Anderson. Who knows who we are? But like I said, BioWare did say it's subject to change. I mean, they could be hiding little hints in there. N7? I mean, at the very least, we're most definitely going to be human. Either way, we're sure to get more answers after November 18th when Dragon Age Inquisition, oh my god, I'm so Anyway, after Dragon Age Inquisition is released, I'm sure we'll get more Mass Effect news. Since BioWare is both developing and marketing the new Mass Effect and Dragon Age Inquisition, they want to focus the hype and marketing aspect for Dragon Age Inquisition since it's only a month away. Only makes sense that we won't find out too much about the new Mass Effect until Inquisition is out. But when is the next most recent time we can expect to hear anything about the new Mass Effect? Well, I know, and it's kind of interesting. Well, the next place we'll learn anything about the new Mass Effect game is at another conference that you would think has little or nothing to do with gaming. HorrorCon 2014. Horror, as in scary, horror. This conference is taking place in North Carolina from October 31st until November 2nd. Yeah, it just passed. And I'll cover anything that we may have learned from the new Mass Effect game from that conference, and any remaining confirmed details that we know so far about the new Mass Effect game, and when we can expect to learn anything new in the future. This video is, after all, getting pretty long, and I'm sure you all have better things to do than to watch a 30-minute documentary about Mass Effect 4. But hey, if you do, like me, you know, whatever, watch the next video. I should have it uploaded here soon, and if you want to know anything more about the new Mass Effect game, make sure you subscribe, because I'll give you that information as soon as it comes out. Along with any other gaming news, I plan to cover other things, but Mass Effect right now is one of my priorities, along with school and work. I have a life. Crazy, right? Huh. Anyway, see you in the next video, and I want to know what you're most excited for in the next Mass Effect game, or what you would like to see implemented in the next Mass Effect game the most. Maybe spaceship stuff? Maybe eating cake? I like eating cake. Eating cake! Maybe doing calibration. Anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you thank a squirrel for its service.